All right.
Hi guys, thanks for tuning in this episode of Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have an amazing guest. We have Holly Jane. Holly Jane is an OnlyFans and Playboy Centerfold model, widowed mum of four, and active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Holly Jane is an Oregon native who has taken on a public role to speak out on behalf of choosing her devout faith while expressing her sexual freedom as a multi-faceted individual intent on supporting others who want to live openly while still adhering to the basic tenets of their religious beliefs. Holly Jane grew up with an admiration for strong women who embrace the power of their sexuality as entertainers and high-profile influencers, and aspired to break into the business as a model herself. In 2021, Holly Jane quit her unfulfilling job to make a splash as a content creator on adult platforms such as OnlyFans and Playboy Centerfold. Holly Jane has said, "I want to be the role model for other women who want to be in the online sex industry but are fearful of what their employer, family, friends, or church will think, so they can enjoy what they do without having to hide and worrying about the consequences." Welcome, Holly Jane, and thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
How's it all been going over there?
It's great so far.
Excellent. How's the pandemic affected you personally and professionally since it's began?
I didn't start this until the pandemic was already going on, so I don't know anything different. I really feel like we're just kind of starting to come out of a pandemic. So for me, I jumped in, and it was already a thing. So, but I have talked to other models, and I do think that this helped. The pandemic did help the business because people were at home. They didn't have a boss looking over their shoulder. They may have had a little downtime. They were lonely. We couldn't go out and mingle with others. So a lot of people, especially if they were single, or I have a lot of members that are just in a bad marriage and they need some sort of outlet. And so people weren't really necessarily going and having physical affairs. They were turning to the internet, looking for affection and looking for attention. So I think it helped things, if anything.
Awesome. That's great insights. Thanks for sharing. All right, let's jump straight into it. Take us back. Tell me about your family and what life was like growing up for you.
Yeah, so I'm an only child, actually, but my parents and my family just in general, they're very conservative. So they're religious, they're conservative. And I was taught that, I needed to dress very conservatively, act proper, and conduct myself in a proper manner in public, and that I am a role model for everybody else, not just those at the church, but in public, that we are spokespeople for the church. So we need to act and behave that way and conduct ourselves in such manner. So this is definitely, it doesn't align with, with that thinking, according to my family members. So I grew up in a strict home where, we didn't talk about anything sexual. Dating was an okay thing to do as long as, the parents met and approved. But everything was very controlled, and you're not a free thinker sexually. Definitely not.
Yeah, cool. That's great insights too. All right. Tell me about your Christian faith and what it means being a Mormon, and what you think and classify that as.
Sure. So I do have the faith. I do believe in many of the teachings of the church. I enjoy attending the church, both just as an individual and with my children. It's something that we enjoy doing together. And I do feel like it gives them a good foundation. I have friends in the church, they have friends. But I have always been a very sexual person and I never viewed it as something bad. I grew up, and my friends, when we thought about what do we want to be when we grow up, and we're teenagers, my friends were dreaming of like going off to college, and I just wanted to be a Playboy model. I looked at role models like Jenny McCarthy, Carmen Electra. If you're in your 30s or older, you know who they are. And these were sort of controversial models because they were nude Playboy models. And they didn't just pose, but they expressed their opinions about sexuality and they pushed boundaries. And I thought that is so cool. And hey, that's how I feel. That aligns with my thinking. And I never looked at it as a negative thing. And I never understood why church members were so, not just within my organization that I belong to, but just religious people in general, that it's this negative thing to show your body that God created, and express yourself sexually. Porn is definitely a no-go within the LDS church. Okay. So they are anti-porn. They believe that it really gets in the way of healthy relationships and that it's looked at as infidelity. Okay. So me being a part of that, they would view it as, especially being that I promote what I do, and I'm trying to lure members away from their teachings. And I don't think that it's a negative and bad thing at all. I believe that you can, in a healthy way, express yourself sexually and still keep your faith.
Yeah, good on you. That's great. All right. I guess what inspired you specifically to do Playboy and OnlyFans, and how did that journey begin?
Sure. So like I said, it's something that I always wanted to do. It was secretly in the back of my mind, and life happens. I got married. I had kids, and I was just going about my life. My husband did become ill and he passed away in 2017. So I'm having kids and things are coming up one after another. My children, work, now an ill husband, a lot of reasons that I couldn't just say, I'm going to follow my dreams now. Right. So it was actually when he passed that I started, like reevaluating my life and what I'm doing. And it really made me think about, I'm not getting any younger. And if not in this lifetime, when am I going to do what I want to do? So I started aligning things financially for myself, so that when I felt like it was a good time for me, I could step away. I didn't know where my place was in the industry because OnlyFans is a relatively new platform. Okay, so they haven't been around very long. And I knew I have kids. I'm not going to go, hire a nanny and fly off and be an adult porn star. I didn't want to be a full-time cam model. So I wasn't sure how or where I was going to get started. And I actually was watching the news one day and I hear about Miss Poindexter. I don't know if you know who Miss Poindexter is, but she was in the media. There was some scandal and I'm watching it, and my takeaway from this whole media on her was, everyone else had a different thought. Like they were more focused on the story and her kids, and I'm thinking, wait, OnlyFans? She makes what? So immediately I'm like on my phone, and that really was that moment for me where I was like, okay, this exists. This is what I'm going to do. And I immediately put my plan into action. I started writing a business plan. I did a lot of market research. I quit my job 3 weeks later.
Wow, that's incredible. Good on you.
Yeah.
Wow. And tell me, what was it like doing the Playboy Centerfold? What was that like? What was that experience?
So I mean, Playboy has come out with the Centerfold platform, the online platform. I recently joined their platform, and that was exciting because OnlyFans, as long as you go through the rigmarole to show your ID and get set up with the bank and etc., you can be a creator. Anyone can be a creator on OnlyFans, but not everyone can be a creator on Centerfold. you're selected. So that was exciting. I did the work to make a name for myself on OnlyFans and in social media to then be accepted to the Centerfold platform. So
Wow.
I was excited. It was something I always wanted to be part of. So
There you go. You got your achievement.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well
Now
done.
I just have to keep raising the bar.
Exactly. And what are the insight? What's the industry like? Is it? How would you describe it working? I guess going from your unfulfilling job to living your dream and doing this. What is the industry like working in it, and what are the people like?
Okay, so my idea of what it was and what it actually entails is a little bit different. A lot of people think, oh, she just takes a few pictures, makes a couple of videos, they're masturbating videos. She has a great time. She sends a few messages. I bet she works an hour a day. I that's what I pictured for myself also. I work at least 12 hours a day, at least.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah, that's minimum, sometimes more. Sometimes I'll wake up at 7 and I don't stop until about 1 a.m. because I'm answering messages, I'm managing something, I'm uploading content. I'm not in front of a camera that many hours, but I'm on my phone. So it really is, it's a lot of work. And I think most people don't realize that. And I didn't know that going into it. There's also a whole other side of the industry that I had no idea about. So you're messaging with guys, right? You have your fans, and these guys are in love with you. So it's a dance. I didn't realize, okay, I need to take safety precautions because there are men trying to find out where I live. They want to know where I am. I had to go, like I had to get a different VPN to route myself in another state and, take all these different measures to protect just like my exact location. I know everyone kind of knows like about where I am, but trust me, I've taken some precautions to protect my location to my home because I am getting a lot of requests to take me out. And I've had threatening messages, and I've had messages that were nice, but also raised a lot of red flags. So it's a dance. You want to keep them in the dream and the fantasy, right? Because in their minds, you're in a relationship. And I mean, you kind of are, right? I'm talking with them about how's your day? What'd you do today? Oh, I'm sorry you were sick. What'd you have for dinner? We're having a conversation, a rolling conversation. They're getting to know me. I'm getting to know them. And so you want to keep them in their fantasy, but at the same time, you have to have boundaries. And not everyone can do that.
Yeah, for sure. That's really, yeah, that's really,
I
really,
call it
yeah, dance. Yeah, that's great insights. That's incredible. What do your family, your children, do your children know, and what do your friends think, like in the church? Like, talk to me about that. What are their feelings on it?
so here's the thing, no one knows. This is what's hilarious to me. So I wrote an article for the HuffPost, and I was so nervous that morning. Like, just if you've ever experienced extreme anxiety, I didn't have regrets, but still, I'm human. I was like, this is it, right? And it came out on Friday. So I had to show up on Sunday thinking I'm going to walk in and I'm just going to know that they know. And it's going to be a little awkward. Not one person in my personal life read it. Obviously, the HuffPost is millions of people across the world read the HuffPost. Not one person in my personal life read it. I have 2 friends that know about this. They're not in the church. Those are the only people that know. So they didn't read the HuffPost. I was in Newsweek. They didn't read it. I was in Business Insider. They didn't read it. Maybe
Wow.
if I appeared on Fox, maybe when I go on Fox, I think that'll be the nail in the coffin, but I've yet to be featured on Fox. So I think it's the type of publication and the demographics of the church members, right?
Yeah.
So conservative church, that's more of like a liberal publication. It would make sense if they didn't see it, but still, come on. I wrote about the Mormon church. So you would think that that would spark the church to be like, let's investigate who this girl is. She's putting OnlyFans and LDS together, and she's not a former member, because plenty of former members have come out and talked, but I'm the only attending member. Said, I'm attending your church and I'm naked on this platform.
No, well, that's amazing that no one knows about it. I guess it keeps the suspense too. Like, it must keep your life very exciting as well. Like, obviously knowing you've got a double life, I guess.
There is that element. Yeah.
That's so cool. All right, what motivates you daily?
What motivates me daily? Of course, there's a money motivation, right? Like, I am more successful now than I've ever been. I'm sure there are a lot of people thinking like, gosh, if I could only just figure out a way to just make a lot of money really quick. And I did it. Right? So of course there's that, but also just, on a serious note, it's something that I always wanted to do. And pinch me, I wake up every day and I control my schedule. So I don't have a boss breathing down my neck saying, you must do this today. If I want to lay in bed today, I will. If I want to go to the spa, I will. If I want to go on vacation, I will. If someone requests something and I don't want to do it, I say no, right? Everything I do is fun because I choose to do it. And so I love that. And also, I know a lot of people would say, yeah, right. But I truly do make a difference in a lot of people's lives, because I'm talking with men that, maybe their wife left them and they're just lonely and they're down and they need to build their confidence again. Or I don't know, there's all kinds of scenarios, but I hear every single day from hundreds of men, like, your selfie that you sent me today, just a fully clothed selfie, you made my day. That made me happy today. My day sucked. And then I heard from you and it was great. And so it feels good.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I definitely know what you're saying. There's a lot of people have their own issues and they need some, I guess you're offering a service, right? Like, you're literally offering a service and you're helping
Right.
people. So yeah, no, I totally get that. What actually makes good content? And I guess starting from where you initially began to where you are now, what was that experience like, and what have you learned creating the content previously?
Oh, you just like, I'm embarrassed to go back and look at my content. I am so embarrassed. Like the picture quality, the editing. Oh, it's terrible. I'm like, people subscribe. So I've improved so much. I've learned a lot about, lighting and uploading content, a lot of tech stuff that I had no idea about. Yeah. And I've improved greatly. I think, gosh, and it's a lot of work. Again, I think people think, oh, it takes you 10 minutes to make a video. No, I've got to edit this thing. And I really care about the quality of my work. So if I'm not happy with it, I'm not going to put it out there.
Yeah, that's really good. And what have been some of the best memories you can recall so far in your, I guess, short career?
The best memories. Ooh. Gosh. Well, for one, I've met a whole network of other models. And so just, when I first started, it felt like I was on an island. Like, who am I going to talk to? This person messaged me and said this, and what do I say? What do I do? Or gosh, what's a good editing app? Just anything like that. And I made a great group of friends. And so I'm so grateful for that. We kind of help each other get through, certain things. And I met some great guys. And I have some true friendships with some of them as well. So
Incredible. And have you had any mentors, or have you had anybody that you look up to that's obviously helped support you in your ambition with this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. there are two key women that, so what I did, just to kind of go back and explain briefly, I didn't just launch this. I didn't just say, I'm signing up for OnlyFans and launched it. No. I treated this, and I treat it like any other business. If I were opening a restaurant, I would do market research on, what's the going rate for a steak, right? And on prime location and all of that. So I had to do research on marketing myself, pricing my content, a lot. I mean, there's just layers and layers to this. And I did need a mentor. So I came across two ladies that I sort of kind of loosely modeled myself after. And I'm in contact with them today, and we've collaborated on some things. And so that was another goal of mine. I want to collaborate with these women. I want to work with them. And so I achieved those goals as well. But I still go to them, every day and message. There's always something that comes up that I need help with or insight on. And so they've helped me a lot. And I hope that I can be that person for someone else too.
Yeah, that's really great. What has been the best advice you've received?
Don't look at anybody else, what anyone else is doing. So I think it's really easy, and I still am guilty of this, because we have a group chat, and myself and a whole bunch of other models. Okay, there's probably 100 of us in this chat. Top models earning $100,000 a month. Okay, and I'm earning a great income, but I'm not quite, my mentor, she earns 150 a month. Okay. Not quite there. I know, insane money. And so it's really easy when you're talking with them. Oh, I made $5,000 today. It's very easy to compare yourself. But she's been doing this 2 years longer than I have. So there's a lot of self-talk. I just need to remind myself, it takes time to get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, but look where I am compared to a year ago. And I just need to stay on the course. Like, just don't look back, look ahead, and always go back to the basics of, like, be true to yourself, only do things that you're comfortable with, be honest with your fans, be there for your fans, be consistent, and don't compare yourself to anyone else, because it's really easy to do that, not just with money, to say, she's making 150 a month and I'm so jealous. But we can compare our bodies too. We could say, she's more fit than I am, she's prettier than I am, she's younger than I am. And I've really learned, because I've got to be honest, when I started and I was looking at some of these ladies, I'm like, she's posing. Someone's going to buy that. Wow. She's not very attractive. But I've actually found out that there's someone for everyone. There are guys that think, obese women are attractive, and that uber skinny women are attractive, redheads. Everyone has a type, and there's a market for everything, that I learned. So I think it's more about the relationship piece of this too. And that's another thing that surprised me, because my two friends that their main question was, there's free porn, so why are they subscribing to you? Like, why does this work? How are you making money at this? And so what I learned was, it's really not about that. Of course they want to go on and see me, they want to watch my videos, but it's really the relationship piece of it, the fact that they're connecting with me, they feel like I'm their girlfriend. And it's really that piece of it that draws them in. If it were just images alone, I would have 0 subscribers, because there's Pornhub, there's, all of these other platforms for free. So it's the relationship piece of it. And I think if you have a great personality and you understand that piece and you're good at marketing, you've got a business.
That's really interesting and very fascinating, I find.
Yeah.
It is. Definitely. What would be the best advice you would give anybody in your previous position before you started it, or thinking, even contemplating coming into the industry you are? What advice would you give them?
Really do your research on what you're getting into, because like I said, you're not just making videos and taking pictures. You're wearing so many hats, and you have to know the hats that you're going to wear, and you have to be all in 100% to wear each and every one of those hats. Okay. So the marketing piece, you're going to spend hours on marketing. Okay. You're going to market yourself. You're going to go out there and you're going to pitch yourself every day for hours. And you're going to get negative comments online. You're going to get mostly positive comments, but you're going to get negative comments. Someone is going to tell you that you don't look great today, or, aren't you a little old to be, you're not 20, all right, all kinds of comments. And you have to just say, and I don't even delete them. I look at it as, oh, great, you're helping my algorithm. You're actually helping to expose me when you make those comments. So thank you for that. So you have to market yourself. You have to have a thick skin. You're going to put your time and your money into this, and you're going to spend your all day for months building it. And then, like I said, you have to do that dance. So you have to separate reality and fantasy, and you have to help them separate it out in a way, and that's why I call it a dance, in a way that doesn't squash the fantasy, but that keeps you safe. And you're saying no to things like, I'm sorry, no, I'm not going to fly out to meet you, and divert them. But you know what? It sounds like maybe we should sext. Let's sext. Yeah. And just kind of like work them and talk them through it. And I feel like only a select number of people can actually handle that and know how to do that dance. So there's just so many layers to this.
I can imagine. Do you get nervous or insecure, like when you're doing it, or when you're uploading it, or when you're creating content?
I would say my first couple of videos, yes. I was like, I felt like it had to be perfect. And now I'm like, I edit it so that I'm no longer like going back and, oh, I need to redo that scene, edit it. I'm editing it so I can upload it. But I'm not editing it like I was before. I used to take little segments and then I would redo that segment. Oh no. That wasn't believable in that scene. Let me just redo it. And it would take me hours, the first few videos to do it. Now I'm just like going through it. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I want a good quality, but I'm not going to scrutinize how I look that day, or did I look good enough in that scene? I don't worry about it anymore. But that was definitely initially my concern for the first couple of videos. And you just have to just very quickly learn to just let it go out the window. The guys don't care. They're not looking at your hair that day. They're in that video. They're really not. So, but I think as women, that's what we tell ourselves, like, oh, but my hair is not perfect in that scene, and they're not looking at it. Doesn't matter.
That's really incredible insights, and yeah, you're very brave and courageous, and it takes a strong woman, and you're an inspiration to, I'm sure, a lot of shy and women that might be interested in doing it but are afraid. So I think you should be very proud of yourself, because it takes courage to do what you're doing.
Yeah, it does. You're putting yourself not just on OnlyFans, but all over Instagram for the world to see, and TikTok and Twitter and all of these different platforms. So you have to be very confident, and like I said, have thick skin, because you may get 200 comments that are positive, but then you're going to get a little handful that's might hurt your feelings if you're not confident enough to just say, okay, I'm on the football field and you're in the stands. So it really doesn't matter what you think. You have to have that attitude. And again, not everyone has that attitude.
100%, couldn't agree with you more. People hate are usually in the stands, and you're the one actually in the game, going for the win.
Exactly.
So couldn't agree more with you. Aside from this, what are your passions and hobbies aside from being in the adult industry, I guess? What do you like to do in your downtime?
Sure. Yeah. Just in my normal life, I'm in a pair of Lululemon yoga pants and a yoga top. I'm very casual, sneakers, hair up. So I that's another reason I think people would be shocked, because I think a lot of people assume, oh, I dress provocative, no, I'm a mom. I'm in my yoga pants. You wouldn't know. And a very outdoorsy, simple. So I like to hike. I like to kayak a lot. I love trying new food in restaurants. I'm very adventurous with food. So yeah, I mean, I just live very simple in that way.
Cool. And what does the future look like for you? What are your, I guess, end goal? What is your end goal or your ambitions towards the future?
Okay, so eventually I will write a book. So that's something that I won't say it's in the works because I haven't begun. I haven't really formulated, that yet. I need to take some notes and gather my thoughts. I think that's at least 2 years out. With my personality, it could be bumped up. Okay. But I'm a go-getter. Once I give a thought in my mind, the wheels are spinning. I can't help but to put things in motion. It's very difficult for me to be realistic and say, we need to put that on the back burner, because I just love to go and move forward. But that is eventually something that I want to do. I'm going to continue building on the Centerfold platform and OnlyFans. I know there was some concern with, oh, are they going to be around? Yes, they're going to be around. And you know what, if they're not, and there will be another platform that's not a concern. I think the world wants it and it would be created. So I don't stress about it. But I think, OnlyFans, they put it out there and then they retracted not having the adult content. And I don't think that we'll have that issue. I know a lot of my friends are worried about it, but I don't think that the fans or that the models need to be worried about it. I'm pretty sure it's here to stay. And you just need to live in the moment as though it's here to stay. So that's what I'm doing. I haven't voiced this publicly. Oh no, where'd you go? Oh, there we are. I haven't voiced this publicly, but I'll tell you now, I would like to do a girl on girl film professionally. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. I will not do a guy on girl film. And I have been approached. And the reason that I haven't done any film is because I was told, no, we need you for a guy on girl. And I said no. So I'm straight. I'm not a lesbian, but I'm very comfortable with my body. I'm professional. And I want, for my fans, I want to put it out there. So maybe someone will contact me. I'm available.
Good on you. You're doing amazing and it's incredible. If you were 18 and you could change anything, go back in time, what would you change?
Oh, gosh, probably just on what would I change? That's a good question. I've never really thought about that. Just because I live my life, I hate when people, oh, I should have done this. Okay, but you didn't. So what's your solution now? I'm very solution oriented and I just move forward. When a problem arises, I'm like, how can we fix it? And I don't look back. So what would I change? Gosh, I would have jumped on some of the girl on girl collaborations that were offered to me sooner. Maybe I would have done a girl on girl film sooner. That's about it.
Cool, that's great.
There were some opportunities that I had that I passed up on, and now I'm like, oh no, I want to do that.
This is really enjoyed interviewing yourself, Holly Jane. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it. You're doing amazing. You're incredible. You should be extremely proud of everything you're doing. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.